exercise should be done to deal with the surface thought by the act of contemplating them. Say, for example, the word spirituality. It is derived from the Latin word spiritus. Spiritus means breathness of life. So, frankly speaking, every one of us is spiritual in nature. When we came into this world, God has infused spirit among us. When we will die, our spirit will be transformed from this world to another world. That is to say, in terms of the Sufis practices, it may be in the called as baka, the return. So, for the relaxation, just you sit comfortably, does the relaxation exercise and think, nothing more, just think. Search out the strongest thoughts in your mind and examine them. Try to resolve and understand them. In Benson's relaxation response technique, patients are asked to sit comfortably and relaxed in a quiet place, to close their eyes and breathe deeply and quietly, concentrating on the process of breathing. Then they are asked to choose a word or a short sentence from their belief or religious faith and to repeat it, contemplating its meaning systematically every time they exhale. If the patients prefer to choose a meaning, a visual form instead of a word or a phrase, then they can do so. Follow the same repetitive procedure. In Benson's, several researchers, including Benson, have found that those who perform this relaxation twice a day for 15 to 20 minutes, each session will notice a marked improvement in their psychological, physical symptoms and become a more optimistic, more productive, and more capable of creative thinking. Several Benson mentions that the cholesterol level in the blood of patients who practiced relaxation and meditation connected with the faith factor was reduced by 35% in comparison with patients who had not undergone treatment by meditation. Similar research shows that the patient's pulse rate is reduced by a significant 3 beats per minute and that the consumption of oxygen and blood glucose is equally lessened. On the other hand, the alpha waves on the electroencephalogram, that is ECG, which are affected by tranquility and relaxation, are found to increase. It means when we do relaxation, basically it helps in oxidates the uh, in the brain. So it is interesting to note that Benson not only advises people of all religious faith to use this meditative technique for relaxation, but also suggests the very words or phrases they could repeat when fully relaxed in their meditation. For example, in the case of Muslims, he says the word for God is Allah. Some of the words said to be uttered to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam by Allah at the initial call, Thy Lord is wondrous kind. Quote, the verse of the Muslim who could call the faithful to praise through the master him by depriving him water in the desert. He kept repeating Ahdu or one God until his master re relented. In his last suggestion, Benson's was refers to Hazrat Bilal, the beloved companion of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Although he misread the Arabic word ahadun as ahadum, of course, Muslims who follow the teachings of the Prophet by regularly relaxing and contemplating after their 5 daily prayers know what focus word to use as they were specified by the Prophet himself. These words are short phrases like Subhanallah, glory to God, Alhamdulillah, praise be to God, Allah Akbar, God is great. It means one can also do the relaxation simply by chanting Tasbih Fatima. One must learn and develop mastery for the good body relaxation. When we talk about the full body relaxation means lower trunk of the body, which starts from our feet up to uh, below the navel, and the middle trunk of the body, that is from the navel to neck, and the upper trunk of the body from above neck up to head. So we are suggesting a very simple exercise. Say for example, sit or lie down and relax. It means whatever the posture suits you, you can do relaxation. Starting with the feet, first you tense it and relax them. Continue this with calves, thighs, hips, stomach, chest, arms, neck, and face until your whole body is deeply relaxed. Do it for few times, making sure and your muscles stay relaxed. And the third letter is uh, fourth letter is O. O stands for one word. COVID-19 is not an individual problem. It is a problem of people of all nations of the world. So that's why in existential terms, we can also say this is a problem of collective neurosis, not the individual neurosis. Hence, we need to perceive this crisis of one world, or this disaster exists in one world. For coping with this crisis, we have to fight at the collective level with precautions like social or physical distancing and lockdown. There is no other way to live in this world with COVID-19. We have to make choices in our life, but it would depend on personality. Personality here, I would like to say idyllic personality. That is to say, peaceful coexistence. This personality is simply can characterize the personality of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One word can be helpful to develop positive relationship with others. One word calls universal brotherhood with acts of compassion and caring. The next letter N stands for nobleness. This lockdown is compelling us to learn new things which are making us noble and giving us the opportunity to do new or good things which we always wanted to, but always complained that we had no time. But during the course of COVID-19, lockdown, we got more quality of time to finish or complete the different kind of the task. The lockdown gives you an opportunity to cultivate nobleness related qualities such as goodness, righteousness, politeness, decency, graciousness, and nobility. During lockdown, you may have company of positive and noble thoughts and engage in intellectual activities such as reading and writing. Frankly speaking, I utilized most of the time in writing books and research papers in the past 3 months. The next letter is A. A stands for awareness. In Buddhism, awareness has been equated to mindfulness. In essence, awareness means consciousness. So here, in the case of coronavirus pandemic, the consciousness may be at the private level, it may be at the public level, or it may be of a social anxiety. So awareness develop attentiveness from moment to moment about ourselves. It has to be passive, passive, passive. It has to be practiced with mindfulness. We should develop awareness about our body. mind, and different facets of life. Awareness of bodily symptoms give signal about the status of our health with regard to prevention and containment of diseases. Awareness of our mind, which means control our thoughts. When we are aware about our thoughts, we can easily replace our negative thoughts to positive thoughts. So for this awareness, in relation to awareness, we can also do mental purgation. That is, the mental cleansing is needed during this pandemic. Self-awareness means awareness of body, mind, and relationship. Awareness develops discipline of the body and mind. Discipline of the body can be maintained through exercise, through aerobics, through yoga. Discipline of the mind can be do through reading scripture like Holy Quran, Gita, or Bible, or similarly meditation or mindfulness meditation can also help us in developing the discipline of the mind. So no task can be done without awareness. Awareness is important to achieve perfection. Hence, a state of constant awareness is a path to deal with mental health problems and for spiritual development. Next letter is V. V stands for virtual. For more than 3 months, we have been living in a virtual manner. That is, we are following certain righteous and worthy paths to live with coronavirus. There is no doubt that it has drastically changed our life. Our life has adopted virtual technology to establish relatedness and connection with others. In the festivals, we are offering greetings each other at home and thereby maintaining social distancing or virtual space. The next letter is I. I stands for invocation. We do invocation through prayer. During lockdown, Muslims have been restricted to do invocation from homes only, including Taraweeh and Eid namaz. Through invocation, one can do internal and mental cleansing. Invocation in the form of chanting and prayer increases our spiritual and mental well-being. Once a Muezzin asked Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam what one should do after Salat. He replied, pray 3 times, pray for your well-being, pray for your well-being, and pray for your well-being. So now the question arises, what kind of the well-being can be improved through invocation? Of course, invocation can help you in improving your mental well-being, your emotional well-being, spiritual well-being, that is your religious as well as existential well-being. Invocation develops serenity. Devote some time to practice invocation. This will help you in relieving stress and establishing connectedness with God. When we establish connectedness with God means you can establish a sort of a kind of the spirituality which is known as vertical spirituality. So when we meet each other, that is a form of a horizontal spirituality. Relieving stress, another concept I had explained. There are a number of approaches such as physical, social, behavioral, cognitive, emotional, religious, spiritual, through which one can deal with stress during lockdown or on lock. Physical approaches include exercise, aerobics, physical activities, etc. Social approaches include social support, social and family ties. Behavioral approaches encompass relaxation technique. Different types of relaxation, as I already explained. Benson's relaxation response technique, Jacobson's progressive response technique, and Baruta's relaxation response technique. And cognitive approaches include mental purgation, that is mental cleansing, or positive perception, or cognitive restructuring. It can One of the cognitive approaches may be like a reading therapy or reading scripture, because the reading scripture, it helps you in positive perception and positive thinking. Emotional approaches include gratitude, catharsis. That is, one must learn how to release emotional or pent up feeling. Or religious spiritual approaches include prayer, reading scripture, meditation, or tafakkur. And another letter is U, stands for unlocking. Lockdown gives birth to unlock. A salient feature of Unlock 1 is that from 8th June, the hospitality industry, factories, restaurants, shopping malls, and places of worships were reopened in India. All gatherings and activities started subject to physical distancing. It was done to restore normalcy. Coronavirus cases rising in unlocking India. Three basic existential things must do. That is masking, hand washing, and physical distancing. We hope that unlocking will connect and identify with others. The sense of social isolation and loneliness stopped, which were haunting versus by the past so many weeks. During unlocking, we are feeling a sense of peace and bliss within. Overall, we are perceiving happiness, setting realistic goals, and expecting success in our lives. We have different feelings. That is, our heart tends to fill with compassion and positive attitude towards life during unlocking. Our life perspective and attitude have been changed with regard to planning and anticipating wonderful things after lockdown is ended. Various stakeholders have therefore voiced gratitude to the new guidelines. And the last letter of coronavirus is S. S stands for social well-being. Earlier, we were maintaining social well-being by attending social functions like birthday parties and marriage parties, attending clubs, visiting gardens or parks. During lockdown, we were entertaining ourselves at home. Lockdown gives an opportunity to enhance social well-being through family ties. Moreover, technology has enhanced our social well-being in terms of establishing and maintaining connections. Keys model of social well-being focuses primarily on public phenomenon that reflects whether individuals are flourishing in their social lives or not. Social well-being consists of five factors that represent the extent to which individual overcomes social acceptance, social actualization, social coherence, social contribution, and social integration. Individuals who are high on these aspects of well-being and feel comfortable and have a positive views of others, that is social acceptance, believe that other individuals and the institution of society help them reach their full potential, that is social actualization, perceive order and meaning in their relationships and society, social coherence, consider themselves a valuable and appreciated member of society, social contribution, and feel as if they are united with supported and other members of their community, that is social integration. The lockdown has not affected our social well-being to a greater extent. For example, people of varying age, the unlock has reopened up the old world in which they were living. We are feeling more comfortable and positive view about our life in unlocking. Now I would like to conclude my lecture, that is lockdown creates an opportunity for us to use psycho-spiritual approaches to deal with mental health problems which emanates from coronavirus. Contemplation, organized, relaxation, one word, nobleness, awareness, virtual, invocation, relieving stress, unlocking, and social well-being are the ways to heal ourselves. Thank you very much for patient listening. Hello? 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 Hello?
जज़ाकल्लाह खैर डॉक्टर साहब, आपने माशाल्लाह बड़े अच्छे अंदाज में सोशल और रिलीजियस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से आपने बयान फरमाया और उम्मीद है कि इंशाल्लाह सारे लोग इससे इस्तिफादा हासिल करेंगे। बड़े खूबसूरत अंदाज में आपने अपनी स्पीच को, अपने तजर्बे को आपने इसको ख़त्म किया। मैं मज़ीद ज़्यादा वक्त ना लेते हुए इस प्रोग्राम को और आगे बढ़ाते हुए मैं थोड़ा सा बस रोशनी डालना चाहता हूं कि जैसा कि हम सब जानते हैं कि कोविड-19 यानी कोरोना वायरस नाम की इस वबा ने आलमी सतह पर इंसान को मुतासिर किया है। दुनिया न सिर्फ माशी, तहजीबी और समाजी तौर पर इससे मुतासिर हुई है, बल्कि जहनी और फिक्री तौर पर भी समाज में इनकलाब बास बनी है। कल तक हमें समाज में मिलजुल कर रहने की तलकीन दी जाती थी, आज हमें एक दूसरे से दूरी बनाकर रहने की तरकीब दी जाती है। गोया मैन इज सोशल एनिमल के बजाय अनसोशल एनिमल का तस्वुर गालिब आ रहा है। जाहिर है ये तस्वुर हाल नहीं है और हमारे दिल और दिमाग को मुतासिर कर रही है। वबा का खौफ, माश की फिक्र और सेहत का जवाल, बीमारी जहनी सेहत के लिए खतरा साबित हो रही है और लाशऊरी तौर पर हर फर्द डिप्रेशन, खौफ और इस्तराब का शिकार हो चुका है। ये ऐसी सूरत हाल है जिससे हर बाशऊर इंसान फिक्रमंद है। इसीलिए अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी अलुमनी जजान चैप्टर ने जरूरी समझा कि इस मौके पर मेंटल हेल्थ एंड पैंडेमिक क्राइसिस के ताल्लुक से अहले इल्म के दरमियान गुफ्तगू की जाए और हर माहिरीन सेहत से ऐसे मशवरे तलब किए जाएं जो हमारे माशरे को इस क्राइसिस से भरे माहौल को बेहतर बनाने में ताउन करें। ये हमारी खुशकिस्मती है कि इस वेबिनार में कलीदी खुतबा आपने दिया और माशाअल्लाह डॉक्टर सैयद अशरफ इमाम साहब खुद मौजूद हैं और इंशाअल्लाह अब इसके बाद इन्हीं को हम लोग सुनेंगे। तो मैं बड़े ही अदब व एहतराम के साथ जनाब डॉक्टर सैयद अशरफ इमाम साहब को मैं दावत देता हूं कि वो जो है अपनी बातों को जो है रखें लोगों के सामने और मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि इंशाअल्लाह सारे हजरात जो है बखूबी अंदाज में उनको सुनेंगे। बहुत एहतराम के साथ जनाब डॉक्टर सैयद अशरफ इमाम साहब, प्लीज। एक मिनट, आवाज आ रही है?
जी हाँ, आ रही है। हमारी जा रही है?
जज़ाकल्लाह, आपकी आवाज आ रही है माशाअल्लाह।
Alhamdulillah. So, Assalamu alaikum, all the attendees. Alhamdulillah. I'm really blessed and pleased to have this opportunity that I'm talking to all you guys, those who are my brothers and friends and sisters all over the world. And I feel honored that you guys provided me this opportunity, Brother Faisal, Brother Dr. Kashif, Dr. Shadab, and the whole Amuba Jazan team. Really, I am indebted and I feel, Alhamdulillah, blessed that my mentor, Professor Akbar Sahib is here. He is such a towering personality. I have no praise, and I cannot praise him. He's beyond that, alhamdulillah. So his presence here in this webinar just made everything complete, and I feel very small now talking about this mental health because Akbar Sahib was able to explain everything about this pandemic crisis that is going on. But I will try to keep my presentation short because Akbar Sahib said everything what I was planning to say. But I would like to share my screen with my topic of the presentation is COVID-19 coping with the new normal. Let me try to share the screen. Okay, so this is the topic of my presentation, that is COVID-19 coping with the new normal. So next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah, there's a disclaimer. There was the next slide that we skipped. The next slide is disclaimer. I have no financial interest obligation, nor I am seeking any financial gain from this webinar. Any part of the entire discussion may not be considered as psychotherapy. Entire discussions are purely educational in nature. Professional help is encouraged to obtain for deeper understanding and resolution of any crisis or any issue or any mental health situation whatsoever comes up. So next slide, my next slide is new normal. If you can go, Kashif bhai, and do that, that'd be great. Yeah, the new normal. That was the Akbar Sahib was able to explain everything, whatever is going on in this pandemic that's all over the world and globe. That worst condition of social isolation and loneliness amid this pandemic is kind of causing problem all over the world, and people are living under constant fear and stress, which is leading to so many medical and psychological conditions like hypertension, sugar imbalances, dysfunctional metabolism, chronic medical condition, reduced immunity, and other psychophysical being. We are living in a very vulnerable condition right now. Simply put, we can experience elevated blood pressure, sugar level, insomnia, restlessness, skin disease and eruptions, depression, hopelessness, irritability, aggression, reduced stress tolerance, and ongoing psychomedical condition detrimental to our well-being and quality of life. Good news is that we may practice simple things to protect and prevent sickness, simultaneously boosting our immune system with some fresh tool to increase stress tolerance and resiliency. So what I would like to emphasize here, there are a couple tips that I will throw out related to coping with this new normal that is we are living under new normal. That is like we are in lockdown situation where people are not allowed to go out and socialize and meet that we love as a social, as Akbar Sahib said, and Dr. Kashif also said the same, that we are social animal, but right now we are living like anti-social animal right now. So it's kind of tough situation. So we are living under this constant, this for a couple of months, like in American situation, it's like 4 months now. We are in lockdown situation. So we are going out a little bit to meet our basic need, but most of the time we are staying home. And this is causing here a lot of problems in American situation because American life is very outgoing and very out. So even like people, they don't eat inside the house on daily basis. They just go to the restaurant, buy food, or they eat outside most of the time in most of the situation. So next slide would be great if we can go to sleep. So I would be talking a little bit about how to cope with all this situation that is going on. So if Brother Kashif can just put the next slide, that is sleep. So I would talk a little bit about sleep. Good sleep rejuvenates our mind and body, boosts our immune system, reduces anxiety, fatigue, and improves our capacity to stay healthy and fit on daily basis. Practice good sleep hygiene and sleep your regular hours to satisfaction as you did prior to this crisis. So what happens in sleep? There's a universal protocol that people feel that we need 8 hours of sleep. But according to the expert on sleep here, in CBTI, it is called Cognitive Behavior Therapy of Insomnia. He is a world leader in doing this research on sleep, and I was fortunate to attend his lecture and workshop from him. And he was very clear in stating that there's no hour. People said like 8 hours sleep is required, but according to science, there's no such limit. Sometimes people, they feel very comfortable sleeping just 5 hours or 6 hours or 7 hours, whatever hours they sleep. They should try to maintain that sleep pattern. So we should not get stuck with 8 hours and looking at the clock and just getting more anxious and anxiety that, oh my God, I'm so scared and so anxious that I'm not able to get the sleep. So whatever amount of sleep that we were getting prior to this crisis, before this crisis happened, this lockdown situation happened, we should try to keep the same hours. We should not try to add or subtract or anything of that sort. So let it be natural the way it was prior to this lockdown situation, and not to worry about adding more hours into the sleep to boost our immune system. Of course, it does help improve our resiliency and immune system. Sleep is huge, and it keeps us very fresh and energized to kind of perform our daily activity. But again, don't get stuck with the hours that we need 8 hours of sleep. There's no scientific evidence now that claims that we need 8 hours of sleep. We human being, if, for example, if myself, if I sleep 6 hours on regular basis, I should just maintain that and don't worry about sleeping like 8 hours or more, because that's meaningless. We are wasting our time and energy and creating more anxiety, creating more stress and problem, just thinking about sleep, like, oh my God, I'm getting insomnia, right? I'm not getting enough sleep. And that is not a very wise option right now. So next slide I would go. So there are many simple sleep hygiene, which I would highly encourage and recommend others, that when you are sleeping, when you are going to the bed to sleep, the bed should only be to sleep and other things that we do before we sleep. So basic hygiene, sleep hygiene is like the light should be dim, and we should not be looking at the clock like, oh my God, now it's 2 o'clock and I'm still up. So once we start looking at the clock and start chasing the time, we can see that the anxiety is kicking in and we are getting far away from the sleep. So let it happen by itself. That is the cognitive behavioral therapy approach of sleep induction. So the sleep is autonomic response of the body. When the body gets tired, we tend to sleep, and the brain kind of, refresh by itself. So once we start worrying about sleep, we can see that the sleep is getting away from us. So the best technique here in simple language is like, don't worry about sleep when you're going to bed to sleep. It will come by itself. So just worrying about sleep causes so much issues and anxiety. And looking at the clock is just big time. No, we should not be looking at the clock like, oh my God, it's now 12 o'clock and now it's 1 o'clock and I'm still up. I'm not able to sleep. Once we start chasing the clock and looking at the clock, we can see that the sleep is getting away and away and away, and we are just up all night until the morning. And then we are just spending restless night and it's not worth. So having very good sleep hygiene is very important, and it's very simple, and everything is now on Google and YouTube. So you can also search some good sleep hygiene and just follow along. And hopefully we will have good sleep that will keep our immune system strong. Next slide is the breathing exercise. So breathing is very healing and very therapeutic if we know how to breathe. Unfortunately, most of us, we people, we have different kind of notion about breathing, that we should be breathing from chest and we should do this and we should do that. But instead, breathing is very simple exercise that we can do just by focusing on belly breathing, like breathing from your tummy or belly, instead of like the most usual practice people when they breathe, they kind of inflate their chest. And that is not considered very healthy breathing in psychology and in medical science. So we should focus more on belly breathing, breathing from your belly, the tummy. So when we are breathing, our tummy should inflate more than the chest. And it requires a little bit of practice initially, but once we focus on these things, it becomes kind of our habit. And it is so relaxing and it just feels great that, oh my God, we can just focus on a little bit of breathing and we can feel great. So I have this small technique to kind of monitor how we breathe. And the number that I gave is 547. So when we inhale, we should be inhaling from our nose, not from our mouth. Usually people, they inhale from mouth, but we should be focusing on inhaling from our nose. Like this, like close your mouth, inhale from your nose up to the count of 5, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this, hold it for 4 seconds up to the count of 4. And then when we exhale, when we release our breath, it should be from the mouth, like with force. And of course from the belly, up to the count of 7 seconds or 7, up to the count of 7, like 5, inhale, 4, hold, then 7, exhale with force. Then again, repeat this 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, as much as you can do. There's no restriction on breathing exercise. And this will just calm our nerves and we feel like great, and it helps in controlling our blood pressure, pulse rate, everything just goes down and we feel very relaxed by simple exercise, that is breathing exercise. And breathing is required for anything that we do, meditation or other exercises that we do. We should focus more on breathing because it kind of refresh our whole blood and bring fresh oxygen into the system. That helps a lot. So next slide is mindfulness. Mindfulness in Western tradition and Western therapy, mindfulness is considered like a big hype, something. Can you please change the next slide, please? That is mindfulness. Mindfulness is as simple as being aware of yourself and being in your surrounding. That is simple, as simple as that. That is mindfulness. So it's not a big hype or big, technique or anything basic, major skill involved in mindfulness. It's just like being aware of yourself and your being in your surroundings. So we are pretty aware of our surrounding and ourselves at the same time. That is mindfulness practice. So it can be an act of any mind-body exercise that bring us back to consciousness. So what happens in case of this pandemic and lockdown situation? We are stressed out and we are very anxious all the time, just worrying and worrying. बहुत परेशानी होती है हम लोगों को कि क्या होगा क्या होगा क्या होगा, and our mind is just like out. So the sense of self, we kind of tend to lose the sense of self, like where I exist, and the fear kicks in. So with this mindfulness brings us back to our own real self. That is what is required here in this situation, so that we can remain, healthy and productive as a human being. And we can, Akbar Sahib was able to explain everything about mindfulness and more than what I can ever explain. So mindfulness may include any religious prayer. Like for Muslims, it's like performing salah, like 5 times salah is mandatory, but we can go beyond that and we can do nafil. If we are really anxious or stressed out, we may focus like 2 rakah of nafil salah. That will bring so much peace into our mind, and it doesn't take that much of time to do 2 rakah of nafil salah, but the impact would be huge here. And for other, people of other faith, they all have their own devotional, rituals and the way they pray. They all are a part of mindfulness practice we can do on daily basis and just enjoy the moment of being in this situation. Mindfulness enhances our sympathetic nerve response by strengthening our brain pathway and strengthen our coping mechanism in case of any adverse situation. Practice mindfulness 3 to 5 times a day or more. If we have time and we have luxury to do it more, I would just do as much as I can to stay healthy and maintain our own sanity. Next slide is physical exercise. And Akbar Sahib, again, he has said everything. So I'm just trying to kind of go over a little bit. Physical exercise is vital for life. Stretches, walking, treadmill, gardening, and other physical activities that suits your taste and capacity, of course, how much we can do. Spend at least 30 to 60 minutes every day to nurture your strength and resiliency. We should not skip, like sometimes people are saying that they're in lockdown situations, so I don't know what to do and how to exercise and what, it's tough because we are not allowed to go out in the park and sidewalk or any other public place where we can just walk. But walking we can do anywhere, basically sitting like within our home, just back and forth, back and forth. That is also considered equal walking as walking outside in the park or garden or anywhere. We can do stretches, and stretches can happen anywhere. Like even right now, as I'm sitting on the chair, I can just stretch myself and just feel good. Treadmill, most of us have treadmill these days in our home, so just walk miles or 2, whatever is convenient for you every day, and just feel good. Gardening is another great activity that is very, very mind and body both involves. So that is also considered a very good activity, physical activity that we can include in our daily practice just to keep our mind engaged and busy doing something positive. Spend at least 30 to 60 minutes every day to nurture your strength and resiliency. Next slide, please, is nutrition. Balanced diet, food, natural supplements, and vitamins improves health and immune system. Proper nutrition is vital to keep our immune system robust to prevent illness or sickness. And we are all educated people, and we know the value of nutrition and healthy food and supplements. Right now is a day that the vitamin is going out of the market. In American situation, even like this lockdown thing happened in the month of March, there was no vitamin C in the store. And usually it's like plenty of vitamin C available everywhere. But right now there was no vitamins. So we started hoarding on vitamins. Wherever we can get, Amazon or whatever website, we were just trying to buy the vitamins. So vitamins are huge. We should not underestimate the value of vitamins in keeping our immune system strong, along with good, balanced diet and food and fruits and vegetable stuff. We should also focus more on vitamins, and we can do intensive research to find which vitamin would be appropriate. Vitamin C, zinc, folic acid, vitamin D, these things are really great that we should be focusing on. And I'm not a medical doctor, so please consult your physician if there's any issue that you're not allowed to take certain vitamins and stuff. So please don't quote me there that Dr. Imam said about vitamin C. Sometimes with some medical condition, they're not allowed to take certain things. So please consult your physician if you have any question about these things. Hydration again, next slide is hydration. Drink 3-4 liters of plain water. People are so much hooked up with drinking like icy cold water, and they put ice cubes in the water, but that water doesn't help our system because our homeostasis, the body temperature, gets upside down, and that creates a lot of medical issue also. If we drink really chilled and cold water like soda and all these drinks, that is not very healthy. So the best drink is water at room temperature. So if we drink 3-4 liters of plain water at room temperature every day, that will definitely help us keep our immune system solid. What is the life and best drink? Check with your physician if you have any medical condition that limits your water intake. In case of any kidney issues or other medical condition, the doctor restricts our water intake. So please consult with your physician also in case if you need any help in hydration. But dehydration is the key factor that makes us sick. So dehydration is not an option here, especially in this pandemic and lockdown situation. So we should keep our body very hydrated all the time, and at least 3 to 4 liters of water at least is required on daily basis. Next slide is healthy habits. It costs nothing. Literally it costs nothing to stay healthy and keep you strong. Stay away from any drugs, abusive substance, and limit your caffeine. Especially caffeine in the evening is very detrimental for sleep induction. So I would stay away from like coffee and a lot of teas and stuff, especially in the late afternoon or after Asr Salah or after Maghrib. When the sun goes down, we should try to limit our caffeine intake or nicotine and all those stimulants. We should try to stay away from them. This is an opportune time to get rid of any addiction and strengthen your immune system. In American situation, the alcohol consumption went 52% up since this lockdown happened. So people are just drinking and trying to numb their feelings and emotions about this frustrating situation that is going on. So addiction is going really high here. People are getting hooked up more with the alcohol and drugs. That is very detrimental to their well-being and quality of life. So we should just try to stay away from all of them. And this is an opportunity that we can try to cut down on all those addiction and things that we used to do prior. Positive relationship. Next slide is positive relationship. This is high time, and this is really huge that we focus on building our positive relationship within and beyond our family system. Resolving conflict by amicable means and appropriate discussion, exploring mutual strength and respect, accepting diversities, building bridges of love, cohesion, and bonding. So positive relationship. If we stay home, we are staying home, all of us in this lockdown situation, and if we are not on the same page with other family members, then it becomes very painful for us to kind of live in this lockdown situation that I have to see this person every single day, and I'm not happy with this person. So that is not a positive feeling living in this lockdown situation that, oh my God, I'm stuck with this person every day, this wife, for example, or this husband, for example, or this brother or the sister. So we should, as a human being, we're not the judge, and we should not be judging people. That, if we all bring different kind of attitude and personality and style of life, so we should be very respectful and mindful of other wish and their well-being. So accepting diversities is very important and key. So if we are in lockdown situation and we are being judged all the time and we are judging others, so life becomes kind of pathetic and very difficult to kind of live and cope. So accept, the people the way they are. Building bridges of love, cohesion, and bonding is very important in this lockdown situation. And hopefully this lockdown situation is not going to last very long. Inshallah, it will go soon. They are working on vaccine and all those things. So hopefully it will not be that long situation. Acceptance and forgiveness. Next slide is acceptance and forgiveness. Acceptance of others as they are and forgive others and are seeking forgiveness from others bring reservoir of positive energy and space into our mind, cleaning up the clutters in our brain that we keep always, all this junk that is sitting in the brain and debris from societal bruise such as grudges, hate, shame, and guilt fills the mind with immense positive energy. Once we clean our mind with all these debris and clutters and societal bruise, we feel so energized and the brain is so fully functional, and it brings so much energy, fresh energy, to think positive and stay positive and healthy. There was acceptance and forgiveness, unconditional love. Again, next slide is unconditional love. And love is very potent and it has the power to melt the mountain. Love yourself. People sometimes they skip this important part in their life, that I should not be loving myself and I should not be thinking much about myself, but others only. But that's not the way it should be in Islam and in social system, in psychology and in medical science also. Take care of yourself. Loving yourself is the key here. If we are not doing good, if I am not doing good as the head of the household, how others would do? So it's kind of infectious. Positive and negative emotion both are very infectious. If I'm sitting in my home really like dull and not feeling well and my head is down, then the people around me in my environment, in my family, they will all kind of get, this kind of notion that this person is not feeling well. So it's like negative and positive emotion keeps going. So love is again very potent and powerful. It has the power to melt the mountain. Love yourself first, and the nature and the people around you, the creator, your family, your significant others, anybody and anything you could imagine. We can love, we can extend our love to anybody or any person, anything that we can see around. It changes the perspective on how we perceive self and others. And the return is huge. Remember, what goes around comes around. So if we offer positive regards and love to others, it will come back to us also. So what goes around comes around. That is unconditional love. And don't put condition that if you do this, then I'm going to do this. So don't make love conditional, that you have to do this to get my love and respect. Just make it unconditional and see how valuable it becomes. Next is mental health care. Next slide is mental health care. So media distancing, which I would highly encourage people, because most of this fear and depression and anxiety and stress is coming because we are continuously tracking this spread of this virus and corona thing that is going on all over the world. So if we keep ourselves away a little bit from the media and just tracking this corona and this pandemic, then we can maintain our sanity and stay at peace with less anxiety and less stress. So again, media distancing is the key. Limit your time up to 20 minutes in a day. And the morning is the best time because then you can handle the situation all day and you keep yourself busy in doing something that will kind of take away your anxiety and fear that, oh my God, so many people died in this place. So morning is the best time to kind of get updated about the news and whatever is going on regarding this pandemic. Stay away from tracking mortality and infection. So we should kind of keep ourselves away from tracking mortality, like how many people died in certain places, because we cannot do anything about it. We cannot help the situation. What we can do, we can help ourselves and our family and our close friends and people that we interact with by educating them and keeping them safe. trying to tell them what to do, what not to do. But instead of doing that, if we start chasing and following all these mortality and how many people are getting infected and who died and what happened, all this crisis situation, it's not going to help us at all. So try to stay away from tracking mortality and infection spread on hourly basis. People, I have seen people, they have app on their phone that they track this corona spread all over. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Is it helping you? Invest your time doing something practical and solid and tangible that will bring some peace into your mind. Instead of tracking this, you're not helping yourself and your family. So try to stay away from tracking this, infection spread and mortality. Find out the appropriate app. There's so many apps, and thanks to God, we have internet and YouTube and all these apps that can bring so many good stuff in our life on daily basis that makes you feel better. Share your feelings and emotion with others without any hesitation. We should, as a mental health provider, I'm a very open person, and I would encourage people also to be very open in expressing their feelings and emotion. Either way, people will tell us like whether we are good or bad. It doesn't matter. We know ourselves what we are. So we should not hesitate and we should not shy away from sharing our feelings to other emotion, whatever comes, and offer others the same space where they can do the same. So allow them to talk and vent and express themselves the way they want to express themselves. Sharing is caring. Old saying goes, sharing is caring. Be kind to yourself. No crisis stays forever. The days are longer than the nights. Sun comes out every day to spread the sunshine. Embrace it. Ask for and seek professional help. It's not worth suffering in isolation. What happens, especially in our culture, Asian culture and Indian culture especially, that people feel very shy about seeking professional help. And we have seen that people are just suffering in isolation and they're so ashamed or they feel so shy just going to professional mental health and help from them. Like, it's not worth suffering in isolation. If we are suffering, then we should seek help. Mental illness or mental health condition is equal to kind of medical condition. If we have fever or anything going on in our body, we try to seek medical help. We go to the doctor to seek help. But if we are suffering depression or just not feeling well on regular basis, it's just going down and down, then we don't seek help. We try to kind of resolve it within ourselves, or we just keep quiet about it, and that's not an option for us. Next slide is kindness. An act of kindness today keeps the sickness away. That's my quotation, which I wrote about 2 years ago. So an act of kindness today keeps the sickness away. Make a plan to do at least one act of kindness each day. This could be as simple as making a phone call to your friend, relatives, neighbors to check on them, because everybody is going through the same situation as we are. So just making a phone call, simple phone call, makes their day bright, and they feel like, oh, Brother Ashraf called me, or Brother whoever called me, and he was just concerned about me. And that makes huge difference in their life. Call your friend, relative, neighbors to check on them. Lend them your ear that they can whisper in. Give them that kind of support and space where they can share their own feelings and their own frustration that they're going through. Talking is very healing also. It's very cathartic that if we express our feeling to others, we feel a lot better instead of just suffering within ourselves. So please allow others to call you, and you do the same. Like I try to call others also just to check on them, like how things are going with you. How can I help you? Or what we can do together to resolve this situation. Just giving them that space makes huge difference in our life and makes us feel very positive. Be generous in providing them comfort, support, and assurance. Even verbal support goes a long way. And these things sounds very small, but in reality, these things are huge in reality. It makes huge difference in our life. Next slide is reading, journaling, and hobbies. Reading is very important. It keeps us up and enlightened all the time. So before this lockdown happened, we always are very busy doing whatever we are doing. So we don't have time to read certain things and novels and books, or even Quran or Gita or Bible, if we want to read. The Vedas, very interesting. These things are very interesting. So whatever time we have extra these days, we should try to focus on reading. And journaling is very helpful. In Indian situation, people are not that much used to journaling. Journaling is simple, like writing your feelings on daily basis, your experience or whatever happened in your life, positive and negative. It's very healing and very cathartic. People here, the psychologists here in America, they treat PTSD, trauma, just by journaling. It's so solid. So try to write your feelings and process your own feeling by yourself. So as we write, we kind of think about it, what is going on in my life. And that itself becomes very healing. So journaling is very important. So it's very cathartic and healing. It relieves one from trauma of the past and soothe your brain. So whatever feelings that we keep in our mind on daily basis, we kind of just suffer, and we just suffer on regular basis thinking about what happened in the past. If we try to put all those thoughts on piece of paper and review it again and again, then we can analyze what happened in the past, and it becomes very healing process. Put down your thoughts and feeling your daily experience on the piece of paper and feel the refreshing effect it has. Brush your skills and bring your nostalgia back. So nostalgia back is like going back to your childhood and going back to your life. So whatever you were trying to do, all those small stuff that will make you so happy if you bring them back into your life. Get involved in the activities and hobbies you loved in the past or continue to nurture. If you have new ideas, try to bring them, try to create more and do more. If you're artist, try to do more art, painting, whatever, sculpture, anything matters here. I would throw one simple exercise at the end of my presentation, that is de-stress, and I will give you some small exercise that can easily, we can handle our stress and anxiety on daily basis, and it doesn't take much effort. It's called palm exercise. This exercise was developed by Dr. Levine and Dr. Levine is a psychiatrist at the Stanford University, California, and he's very famous in controlling the PTSD and trauma, and he's very trauma-focused therapist also. So he developed this palm exercise, which I will demonstrate. So before this, we need to kind of focus a little bit more on breathing exercise that we discussed prior, that how to breathe 5-4-7. And once we feel relaxed by doing that breathing exercise, then we should focus on this palm exercise. So I'll demonstrate how to do this palm exercise, very simple. So simple practices such as lifestyle, attitudinal changes, perceptual organizations, cognitive processing, etc. may be helpful in managing anxiety in a stressful situation. A simple palm exercise may activate our neural connections by activating the vagal nerves. Vagal nerves this is the area and back of the neck. That is the area that holds most of the anxiety, and we feel like, oh my God, we are just freaking out of anxiety. The tightness, the feeling of tightness comes in. So we have to release all these things to feel better. This area, the vagal nerves and this back of our neck. This palm exercise does that wonderful job in like 5 minutes. So that activating the vagal nerves, keeping the sympathetic system under control, not becoming very overactive. The simple palm exercise can be practiced multiple times a day to manage and reduce anxiety and elevated stress in our situation. In this situation, especially in pandemic, where everybody's really stressed out. So I would focus a little bit here on, let me demonstrate this palm exercise. So I would focus a little bit more on breathing first, and then when we feel relaxed, we can just close our eyes. And what we do, let me demonstrate. What we do, we just raise our arms like this, straight first, and then try to make it 90 degree up your palm, like 90 degree, like this. 90 डिग्री. So what will happen, क्या होगा कि हम लोग काफ़ी पूरे arms में, पूरे hand में, arms में up to the shoulder, we start feeling tension inside just by making a 90-degree angle from the wrist and the palm, and stay in this situation for a couple seconds, and you will start feeling the tension inside. Once you start feeling the tension in your arm, entire arm, hold your thumb like this and touch your palm with your thumb. अपने अंगूठे को हथेली पे touch कीजिए like this, and then in both hand, and then slowly make a strong fist. एक strong मुट्ठा बनाइए ऐसे, and stay in that situation for about 10 seconds, keeping your eyes closed. Focus on your breathing. So what will happen, you will start feeling the tension in your entire arms, including your shoulder. So after 10 seconds, what we can do, we can just release the fist by going like this, then thumb like this, then straight like this, and then we put our hand down. And before we put our hand down to the knee, we just shake it off like this. So if we do this 5 times, if you have practiced this with me when I was demonstrating it, if we do a simple palm exercise 5 times in a row, we can see a lot of our tension, anxiety is kind of gone. And after doing this, we can just do self-massage. It's not like we don't need any professional help in activating our vagal nerves, just by going like this on this area, on the side of the neck, like this area, this portion, both sides, gently, like this, couple times, just to induce more relaxation. And then we will feel after 10 minutes of this exercise, we can feel that our anxiety is almost gone and we get kind of fresh energy in our system. So if you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask me about this exercise again, and I'll put my email also at the end of the presentation, so you can always contact me. So this palm exercise, don't underestimate the value and the healing aspect of this palm exercise. So please continue to do it at least 5 times in a day. It takes about 10 minutes if you do it 5 cycles in a row. So after 10 minutes, you can again, after half an hour, or whenever we feel anxious or tired or really like exhausted and stressed out, we can just start this exercise and it will really help us stay very healthy and happy. Take home is, next slide is, last but not the least, set your routine and customize your day based upon the aforementioned tips. So I kind of provided like about 10 tips that we can do on daily basis, and try to imbibe them and try to incorporate them in your daily life and practice them on daily basis as much as you can. Track your progress and make changes as needed in consonance with your daily routine and responsibility. Of course, we are responsible people also, we are working. So whatever it takes to do those things, we should try to adhere to the discipline and schedule that you set. So once we set that I'm going to do this palm exercise every day, don't skip. Try to stick to all your habits that you have learned right now, the coping, basically, the coping mechanism that we have learned. Try to keep them on daily basis to kind of obtain the best, healing aspect of it. Keep fine-tuning it and enjoy. Start your day with smile and positive attitude. Be grateful for what you have and be kind and compassionate to yourself and others and the world. So we take everything like for granted, like we are looking, we are seeing, and we are talking, and we are, we are doing whatever we are doing. We take all these things for granted, but we hardly think that these are the blessings from the God and the Creator, right? We can hear. This is a blessing. There are so many people without, hearing. There are so many people, they're blind, they cannot even see. And we take all these things like granted, like, yeah, I'm up and I have to see the world, right? That's what we are, selfish human being, right? And we should be instead thanking God and thanking Creator every day for whatever we are breathing, we are talking, all these positive things, looking at our family. We are blessed to have family, kids, children, mother, father, all these relatives around. So all these things are huge blessings for us. And if we stick to all these positive things in our life, this pandemic crisis will be over very soon, and then inshallah, and we can just pass easily, managing our own anxiety on daily basis. So if you have any question, please don't hesitate to email me. Next slide is just question. I'll be more than happy to talk and explain anything if you have. This is the time, and I would spend at about 10 minutes. So please unmute yourself and don't hesitate if you have any question. Or you can email me also at my email, that is ashrafimam@gmail.com, if you have any question. And I'll be more than happy to respond to any question that you have, inshallah. So thank you again. Jazakallah khair. The whole Jazan, Amuba team, and our people, Algerians. Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Inshallah, if anything is required, please don't hesitate to consult and contact me at ashrafimam@gmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to respond to you, inshallah. So please bring any question if you have about signs, symptoms of depression, or whatever question you have. Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much.
जज़ाकल्लाह खैर डॉक्टर साहब। वो आए बज़ में इतना तो मीर ने देखा, वो आए बज़ में इतना तो मीर ने देखा, फिर उसके बाद चिरागों में रोशनी ना रही। बहुत खूब, माशाल्लाह, क्या खूब अंदाज था आपका। ऐसा डॉक्टर साहब लगा ही नहीं कि हम कोई तकरीर या कोई लेक्चर सुन रहे हो, ऐसा लगा बस अपने दोस्तों के महो गुफ्तगू कर रहे हैं। और बड़ी खूबसूरत अंदाज है माशाल्लाह, आपने सारी चीजें जो आजकल चल रही हैं, जो लोग डिप्रेशन का शिकार हैं, और रोजाना हम इंटरनेट पे और इधर उधर की बातों में हम लोग लगे रहते हैं और सर्च करते रहते हैं कि कहाँ से हम एक्सरसाइज निकालें, अपने स्ट्रेस को, एंजाइटी को किस तरीके से खत्म करें। और इसको माशाल्लाह आपने बिल्कुल बातों ही बातों में ऐसे आपने सॉल्व कर दिया। मुझे लगता है कि इंशाल्लाह एक्सरसाइज से जो आपने बताया है उसको सब लोग इससे फायदा हासिल करेंगे। बहुत ही खूबसूरत अंदाज था माशाल्लाह। और ये मैं तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ आपका कि आपने जो है बहुत अच्छे अंदाज में लोगों को अपनी बातों से रोशनास कराया। और दोनों हजरात का, डॉक्टर अकबर हुसैन साहब का और आपका, और मैं मोहम्मद फैसल और अलुमनी जज़ान चैप्टर की जानिब से तहे दिल से खैर मकदम भी करता हूँ और शुक्रिया भी अदा करता हूँ कि आप लोगों ने इस प्रोग्राम में शिरकत की और अपना बेशकीमती जो है वक्त निकाल कर इसको इनायत फरमाया। इस मौके पर मैं कमेटी के मेंबरान, रजाकारान और जो लोग भी इस वेबिनार में शामिल हैं, और मैं खास तौर से डॉक्टर अहमद खालिद खान साहब का, और इसमें सबसे ज्यादा जिनका हाथ रहा है जनाब डॉक्टर सैयद काशिफ अली साहब का, मैं उनका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं कि उन्होंने इसको ऑर्गेनाइज करने में बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत सर्फ की। और ये आप लोगों के बेपनाह मोहब्बतों और इनायतों और ताउन का इस प्रोग्राम में इनकाद में बुनियादी किरदार अदा किया है। ये सारी चीजें जो है, ये सब जितनी भी शख्सियात यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं, सब अपने आप में महाताब आफ्ताब हैं। और आप लोगों ने जिस रोशनी से मुनव्वर समाज को किया है, ये अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह सुम्मा अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, आप लोगों ने बड़ी खूबसूरत अंदाज में दोनों लोगों ने बात की है। मैं इस प्रोग्राम में ज्यादा वक्त न लेते हुए मैं ये जो है सबसे पहले सवाल और जवाब जो है शुरू करता हूं। तो मेरी समझ में मैं अगर उस्ताद से अगर शुरू करूं तो ज्यादा बेहतर होगा, अगर आपकी इजाजत अगर हो तो। सबसे पहले मैं उस्ताद मोहतरम से मैं शुरू करूं सवाल, अगर आपकी इजाजत हो डॉक्टर सैयद अशरफ हुसैन साहब।
जी जी जरूर, इंशाल्लाह।
ठीक है, तो काशिफ साहब जो है डॉक्टर सैयद उनको जो है अनम्यूट कर दें, डॉक्टर साहब को।
अकबर हुसैन साहब।
जी जी, अकबर हुसैन साहब कर रहे हैं, डॉक्टर साहब कर रहे हैं, काशिफ साहब कर रहे हैं
जी।
कर दिया है काशिफ भाई?
सर, प्रोफेसर अकबर हुसैन सर, कैन यू हियर मी? आर यू हियर सर?
शायद डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए होंगे शायद, तो
मे बी
मेरे ख्याल से आपसे ही शुरू करते हैं सवाल, फिर इंशाल्लाह जब डॉक्टर साहब अगर आ जाएंगे तो फिर उनसे उनका सवाल जो है मुखातिब उनसे किया जाएगा। इसमें बहुत सारे सवालात हैं, सैफरिस्त अगर मैं सवालात को लूँ तो मुझे लगता है कि जो इंडिया में टाइमिंग हो रहा है मजीद बढ़ता ही चला जाएगा, तो बहुत मुख्तसर में सवालात को लिया जा रहा है। तो मैं शुरुआत करता हूँ। सबसे पहले जो है सैयद वाजिद अली साहब हैं, जिनका सवाल है कि कोरोना पेशेंट्स आर एडमिटेड इन हॉस्पिटल्स and the patients are depressed, so that overcome these problems, what is your valuable advice?
So the patient, as I understand the question, कि the patient जो already admitted हैं या जो patient recover कर रहे हैं कोरोना से and they are suffering depression.
हाँ, hospital admitted in the hospital and the patients are depressed.
Right. So depression, of course, when life becomes very, comes at stake, when the life is at stake, then of course we tend to get depressed and people tend to get depressed. At the same time, as Akbar Sahib was able to explain everything about spiritual well-being and contentment in life, so having that firm belief on the will of the Creator, mercy of Allah, is basically huge here Depression on daily basis, again, all those basic tips that we did and access is what happens in case of any infection that we go through, any sickness, our immune system really goes down when we are really stressed out. So to keep the immune system up and reduce the impact of any sickness and disease and depression, if we stick to all those small exercise that we discussed here, and Akbar Sahib was able to explain all those, the spiritual dimension, inshallah, things would be definitely much better. Having that strong faith in the Creator and Allah and the mercy of Allah, जो मकसद होता है जिंदगी का, एक जो मंजिल होती है जिंदगी की, accepting the fact, destiny. And there's a therapy here in America that we use, is called ACT model, acceptance commitment therapy. Once we accept, what happens in case of most of the terminal illness or any illness, for example, people are still like, they continuously fight. Why me? Why me? Why me? And they get really angry. But once we accept that, okay, I got it. I have this disease. For example, I lost my kidney. Once we accept that, okay, I lost my kidney, what next? So then the positive energy comes and the motivation goes up and we start kind of managing our disease very well. So once we know that if somebody gets, unfortunately, COVID-19, the coronavirus infection, and they accept it, instead of just getting angry over myself and the others and the world and Allah, for example, it's not worth getting angry and living in that kind of tense mode that, oh my God, how I got it. I spoke to a person here in America recently, last week. She recovered from this infection, coronavirus. ये आसान नहीं था उसके लिए, बहुत ही मुश्किल से उसने recover किया है, but she recovered. And the main strength that she was getting in recovery process was having that spiritual energy and strong faith in God. So once we put our life and self onto the will of God, it becomes very easy. And it's all, this infection is just a matter of immune system, So we need to kind of keep our immune system really high and tough to fight it. मैंने आंसर किया क्वेश्चन का या did I answer the question?
जी जी अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। मैं अब दूसरा सवाल है जनाब डॉक्टर महफूज साहब का। पर्सन हु गॉट कोरोना पॉजिटिव, हाउ विल ही गेट प्रॉपर स्लीप?
Again, like going back to the same situation, of course, medical conditions are there, but accepting that I got the coronavirus. So what next? Why to feel bad about it, right? If I have to die, I will die. Why to die every day instead of dying one, right? We die only once, human being. And we should not be dying every single day, living in that constant fear that, oh my God, I'll get this virus, or oh my God, I got this infection. Once we have this, oh my God, feeling going in our mind, the mind doesn't work and the body doesn't work. So instead of living in that fear mode, if we can accept it and go with the treatment process, for example, जैसे डॉक्टर्स जो मशवरा दे रहे हैं कि आप ये कीजिए, ये कीजिए, ये कीजिए, अगर आप ये करेंगे, तो you will feel that the healing process becomes very easy. पेशेंट अगर डॉक्टर से बहुत कोऑपरेटिव होता है तो हीलिंग का प्रोसेस बहुत आसान हो जाता है, बट द पेशेंट they keep resisting and they keep fighting all the time, like, no, why me? And once this emotion kicks in, like, why me? The anger kicks in, and when we are angry, nothing works. So instead of living in that mode, why me? Why I got this infection? Accepting this infection, that I got it, now what next I should do to kind of treat myself and heal myself. Once we go into that mode, the healing becomes easy, inshallah.
इंशाल्लाह। राहत अली खान साहब का सवाल है, हाउ कैन आई मेंटर माय मेंटल हेल्थ, मॉनिटर माय मेंटल हेल्थ?
That's a very good question, especially now
Yes.
in lockdown situation, this crisis infection going on all around. तो सबसे बड़ी चीज होती है मेंटल हेल्थ में जो आदमी अपने आप को अच्छे से मेंटेन कर सकता है कि ग्रूमिंग, self grooming. What happens in this, especially in lockdown situation, we tend to ignore our own personal well-being. Like, we used to go to work and office, we used to shave and groom ourselves, take good shower, wear good clothes and stuff. So in this lockdown situation, especially, I'm seeing people here in America and elsewhere also that they're ignoring their personal self-care. And this personal self-care, looking at the mirror in a positive manner, makes a huge difference in our life. If we start our day being very positive, looking at the mirror, fully groomed, well-groomed, and just accept the way you are, Allah has made us beautiful, right? We are good human beings. So accept the way we are and try to keep yourself up. Don't ignore your self-care. So whatever makes you feel good, just do it. Grooming play a huge role. And we can also see people, those who are getting depressed these days with this lockdown situation, they're ignoring their self-care. So self-care is number one key factor here. And grooming, women, men, all together. The kids, they should just try to take care of themselves very well. More, I would take more good shower. I would eat healthy. If I shave every day and try to feel good. Once we start ignoring this basic stuff, hygiene in our life, then we kind of tend to get depressed and everything just keeps adding on to it. Why to do this, why to do that? So instead of just negating all these important aspects of our life on daily basis, we should stick more doing all those things positive in our life.
Yes. Jazakallah khairan. Lakshminath. इनका सवाल है, what is the scientific tool to measure mental health of a person?
There are so many batteries and tests to measure mental health, MMPI, and you name it, TAG. But in practice, the most simple tool that we can access, there are two things going on right now, anxiety and depression. So if you Google GAD, Generalized Anxiety Disorder Scale, GAD-7, it is called GAD-7. It has 7 items straight from the DSM that may tell us how much anxiety we have. Generalized Anxiety Disorder Scale, GAD-7 that is called. And to measure the level of depression, because people are also depressed these days, PHQ-9, it is called PHQ-9. And these things are available online, free to be used, but I would suggest people not to kind of start using these things unless they have some mental health doctor or any therapist or any psychologist helping them. So because all those questions needs to be analyzed properly, because they are very technical and scientific questions straight from diagnostic tool that we have. So there are 2 tools that common people can, kind of refer to, GAD-7 and PHQ-9, and they are available online free.
जज़ाकल्लाह। क्वेश्चन तो बहुत सारे हैं, मैं बहुत शॉर्ट करके बस 1 और 2 क्वेश्चन के अंदर, चूंकि इंडिया में टाइमिंग बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा है, तो मैं बस 1-2 क्वेश्चन और करके सेशन को खत्म करते हैं इंशाल्लाह। दरक्षा मजहर, इनका सवाल है, इज इट कंपल्सरी टू स्लीप इन द अर्ली आवर्स, आर स्लीपिंग लेट इज ओके?
Of course it's okay. Whatever makes you feel good. That is the main thing.
Yes. If you take it a good... Yes.
Yeah, we should never get stuck with the timing also. Like, according to the old school thought, we should sleep very early after Maghrib Salah. That is not scientific these days. In lockdown situation,
it is not necessary to sleep early.
So, जब भी नींद आ रही है, आप
that's good, sir.
Fresh feel करते हैं, उठ जाए, and brain will be energized. So don't worry about the timing and what time and how many hours and stuff. As long as you feel fresh.
Sir, Dr. Imam, she always pressure me to sleep early.
The old saying goes, early to bed and early to bed makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise, right? But this in lockdown situation, that is practically not very possible right now. So whatever amount of sleep you get, it doesn't matter what time we are getting it. Of course, sleeping in the night is always very good, healthy.
Yes.
But if we get sleep during the day, because some engineers, they are working all night on the computer. So they cannot afford to sleep while they are working, right? So if we are sleeping in the morning, that's equally good. As long as the brain is energized and refreshed. That's the main idea here. And don't again get stuck with the numbers of hours of sleep, like I have to sleep 8 hours. That is so common in the world. People try to sleep 8 hours when there's no number. So if we feel good sleeping 6 hours, we are perfectly fine.
Sir, one more question. Lakshminath, he asking about my mother, age 70 years and facing Alzheimer. Can you suggest any mechanism?
Alzheimer का जो मामला होता है वो different होता है. Alzheimer brings depression also, because it's kind of end of life situation. They feel like they are losing their life and mind. So Alzheimer patient को सबसे important होता है कि उनकी feelings को validate करना. Don't tell like, why you're acting like toddler? What happens in case of dementia and Alzheimer, people start judging them. You are my grandma. आप हमारी दादी हैं. आप बच्चे की तरह एक्टिविटी कैसे कर रही हैं? आपने क्या सुबह में नाश्ता किया आपको याद नहीं है? And we become angry and agitated against them, and that doesn't help. So in Alzheimer's situation or dementia situation, I will always encourage people to be very kind and very receptive to whatever they are doing, and changing their physical environment where they are living. For example, the room. What happens, हम लोग को लगता है कि अरे हमारी दादी रह रही है, उनके पास ये डब्बा पड़ा है, यहाँ पे ये गंदा लग रहा है, ये अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, ये हम उसको इस तरह से रीअरेंज कर देते हैं कि रूम अच्छा लगे, यहाँ पे फ्लावर लगा देते हैं, यहाँ पे ये कर देते हैं, यहाँ पे पिक्चर लगा देते हैं. But changing environment for the people with Alzheimer and dementia doesn't help. So one great technique to manage the symptoms of dementia and Alzheimer is to allow them to live the way they want to live. Don't impose anything on them that is new. It might be, आपको बहुत अच्छा लग सकता है कि यहाँ पे दादी अम्मा ने ऐसे कैसे रखा हुआ, ये चीज़ तो अच्छी नहीं लग रही यहाँ पे, बट उनके लिए उसी में फर्हत है, राहत है, और खुशी है. उनकी खुशी का एहतराम बहुत ज़रूरी है. इंस्टेड ऑफ कि हम अपनी खुशी को उनके ऊपर इम्पोज कर दें कि दादी अम्मा ऐसा नहीं अच्छा लग रहा है, आप कैसे ऐसे कर रही हैं, आप ऐसे कैसे यहाँ पे ये प्लांट को रख दिया आपने, यहाँ पे ऐसे पिक्चर को कैसे अरेंज कर दिया. शी इज़ हैप्पी डूइंग दैट, लेट हर बी हैप्पी. और उनके थॉट्स को या उनके एक्शंस को रोज चैलेंज करना, इट इज नॉट गोना हेल्प पीपल विद डिमेंशिया एंड अल्जाइमर. सो ऑलवेज गो विद द फ्लो. और ये उसको स्लो कर सकते हैं हम लोग अगर उनको फॉलो करें, उनके अंदाज से उनकी जिंदगी को जीने दें, तो डिमेंशिया अल्जाइमर का जो इम्पैक्ट होता है काफी सीरियस होता है, उसको हम लोग रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं. Just let them be happy the way they want to be happy.
Thank you, Dr. Sir. Last question. Dr. Ruby, lack of sleep is harmful, but how is oversleep and unscheduled sleep effectively human psychology?
Again, going back to the same sleep research.
Yes,
which,
yes.
I attended this workshop from the ultimate person in the world on sleep. I don't recall his name right now, but if you Google his research that it is on CBTI, it's called Cognitive Behavior Therapy on Insomnia, and he's considered the master of sleep. So this guy was very clearly and vocal about the duration and hours and timing of sleep. Again, going back to the same situation, that don't make it so difficult for you that it becomes very pain-inducing and anxiety-inducing that I have to sleep during this time and I have to sleep during this hour. So no matter what time you sleep, especially during this crisis situation, lockdown situation, so whatever time we are able to get to sleep and we feel energized and refreshed, just stick to all those things. And of course, once this crisis is over, then of course we would like to go back to our regular schedule, like sleeping at 10 o'clock and then waking up at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, do my Fajr Salah, and then, go with the light. But right now, things are pretty different. Did I answer your question, Dr. Ruby?
जज़ाकल्लाह डॉक्टर साहब, आपने माशाल्लाह दे दिया. अब मैं माजरत चाहता हूं उन लोगों से जिन लोगों का सवाल हम लोग नहीं ले पाए हैं, जो वक्त की बहुत कमी है और हिंदुस्तान के अंदर में जो बहुत ज्यादा वक्त हो गया है. मैं आपसे बस एक रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ डॉक्टर साहब कि आप अपना ईमेल आईडी जो है चैट बॉक्स में डाल दें कि जिन लोगों के क्वेश्चंस रह गए हैं वो पर्सनली आपसे कांटेक्ट कर लें, क्योंकि बहुत ऐसे क्वेश्चंस हैं जो बहुत ज्यादा रिलेटेड हैं और बहुत ईगर हैं कि वो लोग जो है उनका जवाब उनका सवाल मैं आपसे पूछूं और उनका जवाब दें. लेकिन माजरत मैं चाहता हूं सभी लोगों से, चूंकि वक्त की बहुत कमी है, तो मैं इस प्रोग्राम को बस इख्तिताम की तरफ ले जाते हुए मैं इस टाइम पे मोहतरमा सना सरवर को दावत देता हूं कि वो आए और शुक्रिया अदा करें तमाम हजरात का जो लोग इस वेबिनार के अंदर में शामिल हैं. मोहतरमा सना सरवर, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ जाजान.
मैंने अपना व्हाट्सएप नंबर भी दे दिया है.
जज़ाकल्लाह.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम.
Thank you, Professor. I, Sana Sarwar, member of AMU Alumni Association, regards this as an honor and privilege to extend vote of thanks on this occasion. Once a great man said, feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. So today, I take this opportunity to put all my gratitude in the form of words. On behalf of AMU Alumni Association Jazan, I would like to thank our speaker, Professor Akbar Hussain Sahab, Dean, Department of Psychology from AMU, Aligarh, for taking his precious time out and consenting to be the speaker. Sir, indeed your words have inspired the attendees of this webinar. Thanks so much for joining us and a big thank for imparting knowledge. I also like to thank another speaker, Dr. Syed Ashraf Imam Sahab, psychologist from USA, who graced us with his presence and guidance. Thank you, sir, for sharing with us your words of wisdom. And thanks, I think action speaks louder than words. So thanks for informative physical exercises ideas. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by our core committee members. You have been a constant support and give us a lot of encouragement. Thank you all. I thank all the members, committee members actually. I thank all the committee members of Alumni Association Jazan, especially Dr. Syed Kashif Ali, who help us to carry out important events like this. Thank you. I extend my sincere thanks to the convener, Mr. Faisal, and all the participants for their enormous cooperation in the organization of the event. I once again thank our speakers for showing their interest in the webinar and making this conference successful. Thank you, everyone. And at last, I hope we will get a chance to be a part of these webinars, these kind of webinars again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Jazakallah khairan. सना सर आपने अब मैं एक अनाउंसमेंट और है इसी वेबिनार की सीरीज में। बेसिकली हम लोग ये वेबिनार जो कर रहे हैं, माशाल्लाह ये दूसरा हमारा वेबिनार था और आप लोगों की दुआओं से माशाल्लाह बहुत ही कामयाब रहा। अब एक अनाउंसमेंट है कि एज वी आर हैविंग अ सीरीज ऑफ वेबिनार, सो आवर अपकमिंग वेबिनार इज exclusively for mothers and kids regarding mental development on 12th of July, that is Sunday. So we will provide the related details within a day or two. So please join. Inshallah, I will put the link in this group. So thank you all of you. सभी लोगों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मैं अदा करना चाहता हूं जो लोग भी इस वेबिनार के अंदर में शामिल थे, और उम्मीद करते हैं कि इंशाल्लाह डॉक्टर सईद इमाम साहब ने अपना ईमेल आईडी जो है चैट बॉक्स में इंटर कर दिया होगा, और सारे लोग जिनके सवालात हैं वो डायरेक्टली वो है उनसे जो है हो जाएंगे। तो मैं इजाजत चाहता हूं कि इस वेबिनार को इख्तिताम करने के लिए जनाब सैयद काशिफ अली साहब, आपकी इजाजत है?
जी सर, थैंक्स फॉर ऑल, थैंक्स डॉक्टर सैयद अशरफ इमाम साहब एंड थैंक्स मोहम्मद फैसल एंड थैंक्स ऑल ऑफ यू, डॉक्टर अहमद खालिद खान, डॉक्टर रूबी, डॉक्टर सना सरवर, all of you and all the participants. Inshallah, we will meet later on in very near future. Inshallah, we plan some more things.
इंशाल्लाह डॉक्टर अशरफ हुसैन साहब, डॉक्टर खालिद साहब मौजूद हैं। मैं कोर कमेटी के माशाल्लाह बहुत ही एक्टिव मेंबर्स हैं। मैं इनसे इजाजत लेना जरूरी समझता हूं कि इख्तिताम करने के लिए अगर आप दो लफ्ज अगर बोलना भी चाहें तो इजाजत है आपकी, आप बिल्कुल आप बोल सकते हैं। डॉक्टर खालिद साहब, आप यहाँ पर हैं, माशाल्लाह यही बहुत है कि इस हम लोग के जो इस प्रोग्राम के अंदर में उन्होंने जो की तशरीफ है यहाँ पर, ये माशाल्लाह बड़ी हमारे खुशनसीबी की बात है। मैं बस इतना ही कह सकता हूँ कि खुदा करे कि तेरी जिंदगी में गुलशन में खजा न आए सदा मौसम बहार रहे। खुदा करे कि तेरी जिंदगी के गुलशन में खजा न आए सदा मौसम बहार रहे। मैं इसी शेर के साथ और शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ सभी लोगों का जो लोग भी शामिल हैं इस वेबिनार के अंदर में। जज़ाकल्लाह खैर, खुश आमदीद, शब खैर, गुड नाइट।
Thank you again. Thank you everybody.
Thank you sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for your precious time, Dr. Imam. Inshallah, we will be in touch with you. Inshallah.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much again.
Once again, thanks from the bottom of my heart.
Exactly.